A 900-word passage isn't a reading task, it's a navigation problem. And on an exam, navigation beats panic every time. If you read at average pace, that passage can burn 4 minutes before you answer one question. That is the trap. The clock is not stealing your time because the text is hard. It's stealing your time because you are trying to read it line by line, like a novel. Here's the shift. Don't read harder, read strategically. Your goal is not to absorb every sentence on the first pass. Your goal is to build a structural map fast enough to survive the time limit and precise enough to guide your close reading later. That matters because research on real reading shows there is no magic trick that lets you sprint through language and keep every detail. When you force speed past what the language system can process, comprehension falls apart. So the win is not raw velocity. The win is selective attention. Think of the passage in 3 phases. 20 seconds to orient, 70 seconds to isolate boundaries, 30 seconds to hunt for transitions, 120 seconds total. That's enough to turn a wall of text into a roadmap. Start with contextual orientation. In those first 20 seconds, read the title, the subheadings, and the introduction. Ask one question. What is this passage probably trying to prove? Headings are not decoration. They are cues. They help your brain lock onto topic structure before the details start competing for attention. By the end of this phase, you should know the subject, the likely claim, and the direction of the argument. Not certainty, orientation. This matters more than people think. In expository text, headings can make topic sentences easier to process and help you name more of the passage's ideas later. That means the passage stops feeling like a blur and starts feeling organized. You are not predicting every answer yet. You are building context, and context reduces friction everywhere else. Next comes paragraph boundary isolation. This is where most people waste time. They read every middle sentence with equal intensity, even though academic writing is built around predictable entry and exit points. So ignore the temptation to decode the center of every paragraph. Read the first sentence. Read the last sentence. Let the middle blur into context. The first line usually introduces the idea. The last line usually completes, qualifies, or shifts it. This is not lazy reading, it is targeted reading. Under time pressure, skimmers naturally spend more attention on the top of the page, earlier pages, and the first half of paragraphs, because that is where the biggest information gain usually lives. The moment a paragraph stops paying you back, move on. That is not quitting, that is strategy. Skimming is powerful because it changes the task. You are no longer trying to reconstruct every sentence. You are building a map of where the important ideas live. In controlled studies, skimming an entire passage under pressure often helps memory for the main ideas. But there is a ceiling. Skimming will not give you every detail, and it will not replace close analysis. It is for structure and gist, not deep reconstruction. The biggest break on speed is subvocalization, the inner voice that insists on saying every word. That voice can be useful, but it can also trap you at speaking speed. You do not need to eliminate it completely, you need to control it. Use a pen tip or your finger as a pacing guide. Move quickly beneath the text so your eyes stay in motion before the inner voice can settle into every line. Silence the commentary enough to keep moving. This is the turning point. Once your mouth stops reading and your eyes start mapping, the passage becomes manageable. Now comes signpost anchor traversal. Spend the final 30 seconds scanning vertically down the page for transition markers. However, consequently, in contrast, therefore, crucially, these words are not filler, they are processing instructions. They tell you what relationship is being built next. Contrast, cause, result, concession. When you catch the marker, you catch the logic. That matters because dense academic writing is often less about isolated facts and more about the relationships between facts. A contrast tells you where the author disagrees. A consequence tells you where the argument moves forward. A crucially tells you what the writer wants you to remember. If you can spot those shifts fast, you are not just skimming text, you are tracking thought. And here is where the method becomes practical. As you scan, your brain should be tagging landmarks. This paragraph introduces, this one qualifies, this one compares, this one concludes. You are not memorizing every sentence, you are learning the terrain. That way, when a question asks for the main claim, the counterpoint, or the evidence, you already know which section deserves a second look. That second look is where the real advantage appears. Skimming done right does not replace close reading. It prepares it. It tells you where to spend your slow reading and where to trust your map. Instead of rereading the entire passage, you return only to the paragraph that matters. That saves time, but it also saves mental energy. And on a timed exam, energy is part of your score. Think about the difference. The linear reader starts at sentence 1 and hopes the meaning emerges before the clock runs out. The strategic reader starts with structure, then drills into the right place. One method creates pressure, the other creates control. One says, read everything. The other says, read what matters first, then verify. That is why this method works in high-stakes settings. Whether you are facing an exam passage, a dense report, or a fast-moving briefing. You stop treating the page like a tunnel and start treating it like a map. And once you have the map, the text is no longer overwhelming. It is navigable. Here's the pattern to remember. First, orient. Title, headings, introduction. Second, isolate. First and last sentences of each paragraph. Third, traverse. Transition words only. If you follow that sequence, you can skim a 900-word passage in under 2 minutes without feeling lost. Not because you read every word, because you learn where the words matter. That is the key to exam time management. You are not paid in reading volume. You are rewarded for accuracy, direction, and speed of retrieval. A structural map gives you all three. It tells you where the thesis lives, where the evidence supports it, where the shift happens, and where the contradictions hide. That means when the questions arrive, you are not starting from zero. You are returning to known territory. You should also expect a change in confidence. Dense passages stop feeling like a single giant block. They become a sequence of decisions. What is the topic? What changes here? What does this paragraph do? That shift alone reduces panic, and when panic drops, comprehension rises. So the next time you face a wall of academic text, resist the urge to attack every line. That is the old habit. Instead, build the map first. 20 seconds to orient, 70 to isolate boundaries, 30 to catch the logic words. Then go back only where the question demands. Because speed reading mastery is not about seeing more words. It is about spending your slow reading exactly where it counts. Structure first, details second. And under pressure, that order changes everything. That is the difference between feeling rushed and being in control. Rushed readers hope the text will become clear. Strategic readers make it clear by ordering their attention. The passage does not disappear. It becomes readable on your terms. And that is a skill you can reuse in exams, reports, briefs, and any situation where time is tight. Run a time drill and track your accuracy.